Tuesday, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice because today is a long overdue episode of Incredible Independence. There's a couple of them that I meant to do before and just never got around to it, especially lately. But I did read one that came out this last Wednesday, which I felt I should really do video for. It is called Freddy Fix. It is by Image under the Ninth Circle imprint. It is written by Garth Ennis and art by Mike Perkins. If you read the Batman First Night miniseries, the large style things that came out earlier this year, he's the one that did the art on that, so it is incredible. Like I said, it is written by Garth Ennis, so you know it is just batshit crazy. It is a one-shot, and I'm hoping at some point, I'm hoping this is just like a setup and they will do a series or a mini-series on it. But who knows? So let me give you the rundown on it. It is, this is a world where werewolves, vampires, mermaids, boogeymen, sensing dinosaurs, and all sorts of other creatures exist, and the public knows about them. And there is a gentleman, a Brit of African persuasion. He's grew up in Britain, by the name of Jack T. Betamax III, who is known as Freddy the Fix. His job is, as the name would infer, kind of a fixer. And he works in, at least in this story, I don't know if it's any other places, in Hollywood. So you get kind of the rich and powerful, Hollywood elite, the real monsters. If they do something stupid, they fuck up big, really big, and they need something covered up, something fixed. Whoever will, whether it be a manager, a lawyer, studio head, whatever, calls Freddy the Fix, and he takes care of it. But this is with monsters. It is a really interesting story, and I like how it sets it up. Like if you watch the old James Bond movies or the Indiana Jones movies, you have that first little segment that sets up, shows you the situation, and then they go to the main story. Especially if it's a first. You have the first page where it shows him driving down the street, and he's telling who he is, what the situation is, and it turns out he's on his way to this seedy hotel to help a werewolf by the name of Lou, which I'm assuming is kind of a play on the Loop Guru name, who had werewolfed out while he was in the process of being with a rent-a-boy and killed him. And so Freddy is going in there saying boom, 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 and he's like, oh man, you're stuck like this for a while, aren't you? So he goes in there and he takes care of the situation, and it seems like he has this little object, lights, puts flame underneath it, and this little creature comes up who's, I'm guessing, is magical, and it can, clean up rooms so there's no evidence and all that stuff. And then he goes to, he goes to drop this guy off, and you get a little bit more information about the world. Then he goes to the office of this big, I don't know if he's a studio head or an agent or something like that, who wants him to fix work on this. There was a boogeyman who was found dead in a steam room. Don't know if it was presumed murder. Who had died with a toy inside him, shall we say? And he has to go and try and manage the situation and deal with all this. I guess the guy worked for the studio or something like that. And then he goes off, and that's where the rest of the thing is him dealing with that situation and coming in contact with all the different creatures. It is Garth Ennis, so it's going to be Garth Ennis at his best. So it's going to be just batshit crazy. Lots of crazy, deviant stuff. And it's also about the rich and powerful in Hollywood, so of course that's going to be that way anyway. And the monsters in there are all kind of monsters. And it is, oversized. See if I can find a regular sized comic here. So you have a regular sized comic here. And so you see how big it is compared to a regular sized. And it does get done in one issue, so it moves at a quick pace. But it doesn't really skimp on the story. I mean, some of the things, there are things that are mentioned from the past that you sort of just have to imply, that are, they're inferred, and you have to, use your mind to, figure out what they're, use your imagination about what they were talking about. But not to the detriment of the story. It's just a fun, quick story that just is awesome, and it makes you wishing you could see more of this world. And so it is very, very well written and incredibly well drawn, because this Mike Perkins gentleman does a fantastic job. As you can see by some of the things I put up, some of that work I put up in here. I can't recommend this enough. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5, especially if you are a Garth Ennis fan and enjoy his messed up storyline type of stuff, because it's kind of gory. It's kind of messed up with the things that happen, and it's just really fun and very, very fun to read and fantastic to look at. And like I said, it leaves you wanting more. So I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 and say if you haven't picked it up, get it. It is oversized. It is rated mature, rated M, rated mature, and it is $7.99. But it is worth every cent of it. So let me know if you picked it up, if you read it, and what you thought of it. And if not, go to your store and pick it up, because you'll enjoy it. Anyway, like, subscribe. Most of all, share it if you feel like it, but enjoy your horror comics.